In 2010, we developed, presented and toured April's Fool, a verbatim theatre work based on the death of teenager Kristjan Terauds due to complications from excessive illicit drug use. From the outset, this show has been designed to tour. It opened in Oakey, then toured to Dalby, Chinchilla, Ipswich, and then had a short season at the Judith Wright Centre in Brisbane.
Verbatim theatre was an excellent choice of dramatic style to tell Kristjan's story because its audience wasn't preached to. Burton's April's Fool is the realest production my students have been exposed to. They witnessed real characters, real feelings and real reactions. It shocked them. It challenged them, it angered them, it saddened them. It made them laugh and it made them cry. This was the first performance my students have been really passionate about.
It was after the closing night outside the Judith Wright Centre, and I was just taking a breath of fresh air, and a group of girls walked past, 16-year-old girls walked past. And they were really excited and they saw me and they said, "Oh, that was amazing, thank you so much." And it was just wonderful and it really, really affected me, and they moved on and they were still talking about it as they left, but behind them was their mother and she was hanging on to her daughter very, very tightly. And as they moved past, she turned back and mouthed the words, "Thank you," at me. And that sort of said it all for me, is that it touched the girls, it touched the mother, and it opened the lines of communication.
I took my daughter along to the Brisbane season of the show, and I was a bit apprehensive given the subject matter of the show, and I wasn't sure how it would be presented or how she would perceive it as well. But essentially we came away from the show feeling incredibly uplifted. There's some beautiful storytelling in there, some fantastic lines within the production, but more importantly, it's a story about a family and the love of this family and how through this set of incredible circumstance, the family's relationship with each other is tested like no family should ever have to be tested as well.
We took a group of students to see April's Fool. The intelligence of the writing engaged the students where you could have heard a pin drop in the audience. The whole audience was engaged, but we were particularly impressed about our own students being engaged. But we really had to put out a blanket note to all staff to say, we saw this thing, it really impacted on the students, it impacted on the staff. We did some debriefing on the way home, but really it's an opportunity to discuss these issues in the classroom. So for us, it was a fantastic educational opportunity, and I just wish that all of the school had have had the opportunity to see April's Fool.
In regards to the tourability of the show as well, the show is very contained, it's modular, there's some great set elements in there, but more importantly as well, it plays upon the use of a lot of multimedia and some great soundscape throughout the production as well. And you can see the production working in small intimate theatres of up to 200, but it could also expand as well to much larger stages.
The production has a fantastic creative team. A script by David Burton, designed by Josh McIntosh, media by Craig Wilkinson, sound design by Brett Collery, and lighting design by Timothy Panitz. And a fantastic cast: Sam Clark, Alan Laverty, Kathryn Marquet, Barbara Lowing and Jessica Harm.
Working on April's Fool was an extraordinary experience. I've had 30 years in theatre as a theatre actress in Australia, and I've worked with all of the state theatre companies, and so many times you do plays that are just, that I would describe as exhilarating or funny or joyful or tragic. But this was the first production that I've ever done that I truly, truly believe is vital. Working in theatre, you always have schools audiences, and you can always hear them when they're coming into the theatre, and you think, they would so much rather be texting. And they were like that when they came into April's Fool, but as the play started and as it went on, you could actually hear their lives changing. And the silence and the intensity was extraordinary.
So after the show, there's one particular young person that I've worked with for many, many years now, and who I know has had substance abuse and drug addiction since birth. Came up to me, I asked him what he thought of the show and what things confronted him, what things made him look at himself. This is the first time ever I've heard this young person admit to having problems. It's the first time ever his worker that was with him there on the night also heard him say, "I have a problem with that." So for us, that was a huge breakthrough, and since then he has now gone on and is having drug and alcohol counselling, he's more willing and more open to acknowledge that he has got issues and has come ahead in leaps and bounds.
The response to the show has been overwhelming, and we want this show to tour. We want this show to tour because it can make a difference. It can make a difference in the lives of the young people who experience the show. It can make a difference for their families and for their communities. And the reason it makes a difference is because it does not preach. What it does do is open discussion, and that is one of the most important aspects of dealing with substance abuse.